Welcome to episode 13. I call this Everything and Nothing Winter Edition because it's winter and it's a moment for rest, rejuvenation, and rest is part of growth. I'm trying to slow down this winter, really be mindful, notice the details and all the colors that winter brings in our area. We had a few snap colds, and that kind of turned the entire garden into this brown wonderland. Nature is resting as well. On the upside, I found out that I can grow ground cherries in winter here in Florida, so that was a very awesome discovery. My year started pretty strong with this exhibition I was part of. My artist was Georgia O'Keeffe, and it was an amazing experience. I've also taken myself out on an artist date. That's a term coined by Julia Cameron in her classic book, The Artist's Way. I went to the Safety Harbor Art and Music Center to see Beginner's Mind by Amy Wolf. It was an amazing installation of papier-mâché gigantic hands and figures with these painted palm trees. She also had these wonderful soundtracks of whale songs, and she also used these vintage Japanese traditional sounds and compositions with overlaying of another image on top of her whole exhibition. It was just fantastic. I loved every moment of it. And this is the bathroom in that center, which is all made out of recycled materials. I thought it was just amazing. I kept myself busy with some experiments. I attempted to make turmeric ink. However, it was a total failure. I did something wrong with the recipe and I just returned it back to earth since it was an organic ink. On the other hand, I successfully dyed my clothes for the first time. I was attempting to turn it black, however, it turned this mossy green and I am totally gonna wear it, so that was a success. The bathroom in that center I showed you just a few minutes ago inspired me to pull out my bucket of plastic tidbits I've been collecting for some time. I'm planning on using them. As a matter of fact, this entire series was inspired by me using this and having some sort of accountability. I'm also collecting natural elements or items I find on the beach because they're so inspiring. There's so much you can find in there that can be turned into something else or just to look at. They're just magical objects to me. I found this leaf in my collection and I decided to do some art with it. Starting off not really knowing what to do, you just kind of have to dive in and starting to experiment. Forgive my finger. I hurt my finger that day and I realized how much you use your left hand. Have new appreciation. Anyways, I'm just playing. Stenciling it. There was something about this lacy quality, and I've also was really impressed with how sturdy that leaf was, even though it just seems so fragile. I mention this a lot in my videos and whenever I can, but the power of playing is very important, I think, in creative lives, in creative art making, whether it's, fine art, music, or whatever it is. Just playing, no expectations, no final product, just experimenting with materials. It's, I think, very important and it creates momentum. And if you're stuck on any level, it's important to play. I was just playing over here as well. I decided to actually glue this thing to another background, this time blue, and again, I'm playing, so I'm making some mistakes. Like I put this ink on there but wasn't feeling it too much, so I kind of had to dab some of it off because it covered so much of this beautiful lace that I wanted to showcase. Anyway, I added some gold and just kind of became this magical whatever this is, you know. This is just in my sketchbook, and I'm playing and I'm dreaming, and maybe, you know, the colors I love. I think that was very successful. Something about the blues with these pinks and golds. I think it's very important not to put too much pressure on your creativity. Like every time you have to sit down in your studio, you gotta make something, you know, amazing. I also found this quote when I was looking through my stuff, and I think this is like, you know, the theme for my next series that I am brewing on, actually. A little bit resentful, maybe resentment, I'm doing something, you know. This is a series I'm thinking about making that's kind of tapping deep into some vulnerable themes. So, you know, it's winter. I'm letting it brew in my mind, like these memories, childhood memories, maybe grieving. So I'm gonna be touching on a lot of different things. And I think that I'm just a little bit afraid to do so, to be honest, because it is raw. And, you know, sometimes you're not sure if you're ready to go there, so to speak. But I know I've experienced this before, that when I do that through my art, some amazing breakthroughs happen. So I am mustering up courage to do so. And, you know, nature does what nature is always doing. So we have a mild winter here in Florida, and we already beginning to see signs of spring. So gently everything is waking up. The garden is growing. Peaches are just happening as we speak, you know, super early blossoms. And look at this, baby peaches right there. Beautiful. So trying to, you know, attune to this natural cycle, resting, slowly waking up and stretching. I hope that you are also resting, rejuvenating, and being inspired. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time.